So I've just seen the finale to My Adventures with Superman Season 2, and Jesus Christ, this entire season has blown Season 1 out of the water, and I just cannot wait to discuss it with you guys. I don't know if I was worried about the inclusion of Kara coming into the show, but there was a big worry in the back of my head that kept coming up to me that were they just gonna redo what we saw during Season 1 just with Kara this time instead of Superman? Will we now see her get introduced and slowly get acclimated to the group? Will we now see her take a lot of L's only to come out, hey, it's Superman, but a girl? That's always a possibility with new shows. You never know how they're gonna do these characters. You never know if it's gonna be anything more than just the formula they've already previously laid out. But I do think I enjoyed what they did with Kara. I do think I enjoyed what they did with Supergirl. For the longest time, since early on in Season 1, they've been teasing this evil Superman thing, and now you got flipped on its head. No, we're not getting an evil Superman. Supergirl is the evil one, and she's come to kind of try to recruit Superman into her coalition. And obviously we grew to know there was way more nuance to that. She wasn't necessarily just an evil Superman. She was being brainwashed by her father, Brainiac, who's now trying to use Superman as a vessel. And now we are going to get an evil Superman, just not Superman, it's Brainiac controlling Superman's body. So now hopefully we can drop this evil Superman talk, because we've gotten it twice this season so far. And while there's not anything necessarily new with Kara's character story that's going on within here, it's a good story. Somebody being brainwashed and evil and them finding out the truth for themselves only to retaliate against the person that was controlling them in the first place. Normally in character stories like this, it's most of the time the male character that ends up turning evil, and it's the female that has to come hug them, protect them, remember me type stuff. And we still got that because Superman did turn evil in here and Lois had to come in there and save them. But we also got it with Kara and Jimmy. They've really been building up this Kara and Jimmy dynamic, and it's forcing me to talk about Jimmy because I haven't been talking about him for this entire time. I don't gotta judge a comedy relief character. I don't have to critique comedy in a show unless it's just downright bad. But now I'm forced to talk about Jimmy because he has two major storylines going on within this season. He is responsible for Lex Luthor being a thing now. That's insane to have happened. And now he's responsible for Kara having that connection towards Earth. It's just everything about this season is just really good. The character writing was really on point with this season. And when I say I love this season, it was a little play on words for you guys, because that's mostly the theme that was going on throughout this finale. Love, friendship, kindness, caringness, because Brainiac in itself is a robot. Again, story perspective wise, not necessarily the most new story to come upon the world. A computer that doesn't understand human emotions and everything, is trying to do things by the book, trying to do things the most logical sense possible. Emotions are weak, you're weak, I will make you strong if you just stop thinking and let me control you. But I think Brainiac's role in that was pretty well, if you ask me. He really sold the part of I'm a computer. I don't know how you don't sell that, to be fair, but he's just really against love and kindness, and you can see that throughout this scene he was having with Superman, where he was changing his memories right then and there. He was trying to make Clark second guess everything that happened throughout these previous seasons, all these memories that was happening with Lois. He's making him question everything because he's found out that because of his connection with Lois and Jimmy and his family, that's the reason he's strong. That's the reason he has the strength that he has, but it's also his biggest weakness. They're all in on it. He has no secret identity to them, so they're always going to be that target now, and this is just another villain trying to use them to get to Superman, and it kinda worked for a little bit. He was able to get Clark in this simulated world somehow, erase his memories and make it look like he's just been living on Krypton for this entire time with his family. But what he didn't account for was Lois also coming into this simulated world, into Clark's mind, to come and save him. Because although he was gone, he still kinda had his timid and shy and kind personality. He's still kind, he's still trying to feed these creatures even though it's the last of their kind, and he shouldn't be nice to them, which is what his mother says. That's not a me thing, but he's still him. He's still, at the end of the day, Clark. And Lois was able to speak to that Clark, apologize for everything she's been doing, apologize to the fact that she broke up with him like a couple of episodes ago, which again, I didn't like the fact that they broke up, but I get that this This is mostly a character-driven show, so characters are gonna have some drama. That's just the way shows work. But they got back together and was able to escape that simulation. And speaking of love, romance isn't the only way to show this theme throughout this season. They also show it through the form of family, throughout Superman's love for his cousin Kara, an unrequited love you would have for family. And this is important for Kara's story specifically because she's always felt so alone. Nobody was there that could relate to her, nobody was there that could talk to her or anything. She only had this computer, this emotionless computer that doesn't trust her, that is only trying to benefit himself. So now finally she has Superman, she has Kal-El, she has Clark, someone who she can relate to. Someone who could have been like her easily, but because he grew up on Earth and found a beautiful family and has friends, he's not alone. And now she's starting to learn to be herself and everything. It's beautiful. And that was definitely necessary throughout this entire season, especially during this finale. Things could have gone really south really quickly when she sacrificed herself. He went to save her. Sun gives them powers, so it's completely fine. They get their energy from the sun. And speaking of the sun thing, if Brainiac is supposed to be this all-knowing Kryptonian computer, the brains of Krypton, why didn't he know about the sun being the source of Krypton's powers? Why didn't he know that the sun was going to kind of nullify the kryptonite stuff that they were going on with their bodies at that point? Why didn't he know that? I feel like he should have known that, honestly. Anyways, this theme was so strong, and with the power of love, they were able to save the day. And now they're this big jumbo squad of 4. They're able to communicate with each other more now. Clark and Lois are able to talk about things. She told him about the job offer, and he's like, dude, I've been thinking about this. I could fly back and forth in like 5 minutes. We can make this work. She was like, hey, I didn't take the job offer. I want to be my own person. And that's all I was asking for in the last video. It's like, dude, guys, you guys are like 20 something. Just communicate with each other. That's all you need to do is talk about your stuff. Talk about your feelings with one another. That's it, guys. And luckily they were able to do that in like this last minute of the episode. Finally sit down, have conversations with one another. I really like that. And it was a great visual to see at the end of them flying off to some danger, Superman holding Lois and Kara holding Jimmy. This show is a sucker for romance, and honestly, also being a sucker for romance, I'm super here for that. But that's really it when it comes to this season 2 finale, although I do have some speculation I want to say when it comes to season 3. What can it be about? I feel like they were building Brainiac up for these past 2 seasons. I have no idea what season 3 can be about at all. I do know at San Diego Comic-Con they revealed some concept art for Superboy. Why are we bringing Superboy into this now? Are we just gonna bring a different Superman-esque character in every season? What's going on here? What kind of character will Superboy be? Who cloned him? Was it Waller? Did Lex Luthor do it? Who did this? I'm really trying to sit here and think, what type of story could they tell with Superboy? The only thing that could come to mind is if he is a clone of Superman and he's like a younger version, maybe like a teenage version of our Clark. I feel like that could work. It could be like his little brother and he could try to show him the ropes and everything, and there'd be another instance of him being evil and Superman trying to make him good, and he'll end up joining their team by the end of it. I think they're just going to retell this story again with Kara. I'm not sure how this is going to be. I don't know. Yeah, Justice did it good. Hopefully my Adventure Superman can do it good as well. I really don't have any clue what they could do with Superboy, but Superboy is going to be here in season 3, and I'm super down for that. With that being said, what are your opinions on the season 2 finale of My Adventures with Superman? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll get back to you guys as soon as I can. Leave your opinions on what you think can happen with Superboy in season 3 as well. I'd really like to know. I have no clue what could happen at all. But yeah, with that being said, I'll see each and every one of you around next time. Okay, goodbye.